Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2019 science fiction thriller Zoohead, a film that is written and directed by, let me just remind myself, Navin Dev, and it stars Daniel Ahmadi as Charlie. We have Husana Raja as Megan, Brian Potter Jr. as Barton, and we have Ross Mullen as Dr. Pierce. Now this is, like I say, a science fiction thriller that actually it felt like a cross between Total Recall and a Black Mirror episode, and it had that feel about it. And it's a UK-based science fiction film that focuses on Daniel Ahmadi's character Charlie, who is a drug addict. Basically, he is addicted to a drug called Zootopic, I think it's called. And it's a very strong drug, and his life's going nowhere. His girlfriend Megan is trying her best to look after him. He's on benefits, he's no job, he just lives to steal so he can buy drugs, and the benefits office have had enough of him. And he keeps going to the benefits office, he's not getting any work, he's not making any progress, so they basically say to him, right, there's a company called Infinity. We've got a contract with them for some trial programs with people like you, and this place, Infinity, kind of repairs the memory. So it repairs the memory so that the brain will no longer be like addicted to drugs and all this kind of stuff, and repairs damage, and then the second part of it is they kind of repair your body. So it's a way of getting you off drugs, basically, so you can work your way back into society. Now Charlie's not particularly keen on this, and his girlfriend's very cross about it, because it's to actually get into Infinity is actually quite a expensive process, and she really wants it and she can't afford it. However, things don't go according to plan. Because he lies on his application, and they go ahead with the procedure, and things don't seem to go as they should be going. Now, then this film kind of turns into, like I say, the Total Recall thing, but also a little bit of Groundhog Day going on, because there's like a constant loop going on. He's like reliving the same day over and over and over, the same process, and he's trying to do things differently. And it reminded me very much of, and I didn't watch it, but I've heard about it, that Black Mirror film, and I can't remember the name of it, where he has to relive the same day over and over. Sounds like there are elements of that in this as well. So yeah, that's kind of the story that you get with this. Now, there are quite a few positives here with this film. I really enjoyed the concept of it. I thought the performances were pretty good by the actors involved. I wasn't massively keen on Brian Potter Jr.'s performance. He's like the American. He's an American. It just seemed a bit, I don't know. It didn't seem to fit the movie for me. He played like this smart ass, and at times he was there. He was his friend. He was Charlie's friend, and other times he didn't give a monkeys about him, and you weren't sure if this was part of the loop or if this was who he really was. And I don't know, maybe it was meant to be a confused performance, but it felt confused to me. And so yeah, this basically is, you don't know what's reality and what isn't at one point in this film, because even his girlfriend gets into a similar position where you're not sure if it's her loop or it's his loop, or if they're combining loops. And then there's a scene just over halfway through, maybe a bit longer, where they break into Infinity to try and find out what's going on during a loop, and the American friend Barton is revealed to be like an ex-intern at this place, so he's now all of a sudden an expert on Infinity, and he tries to explain to the characters, but really is explaining to us, the audience members, at this point, what potentially could be going on. But to me, it just again felt like it was confusing matters. So it was layer of confusion on top of layer of confusion on top of layer of confusion, which was kind of the point. But the problem is, it got so confusing up to a point. I was starting to check out mentally because I was getting bored of trying to figure out what was going on, and that's the main problem with this film. It gets you and hooks you in. The performances and the concept and the idea initially is very interesting, and it hooks you in, but eventually the loop actually damages the film, and the confusion actually damages the film, because you lose enthusiasm to just excuse me a minute, there we go. You lose enthusiasm to try and figure out what's going on, and then when the reveals finally take place, it's nothing that is overly exciting or original or shocking, I suppose. Not for me anyway. So I think this is a pretty good science fiction thriller. It has a lot of potential. It's got a great idea, and it works up to a point, but I think the payoff and the layers of confusion ultimately harm it. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. It is pretty enjoyable. It's slightly above average, but I think it probably could have been better. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and of course I will see you next time on Screen Stars.